leave it to Trump to fuck up his own cause, right? He does it all the time. He claims to be, like, for example, he claims to be the defender of the Second Amendment, and then he sits there and says, I'm in favor of taking the guns first and giving due process second, right? That's just one example of Trump fucking up his, I'm the jobs president. Well, you're the first fucking president in decades to finish his term with fewer people working than not working. He claims to be for this, and then he does the opposite. He claims to be for this, and then he does the opposite. And what was one of the biggest sticking points in this past election cycle? Fentanyl coming across our border, right? The border is the problem, and it's fentanyl. So much so that he wants to take over Canada so that he can stop fentanyl from coming into our country. Well, U.S. fentanyl deaths have been plunging. Enter Trump. Federal spending cuts instigated by the White House threaten to reverse a steep decline in American overdose deaths and are jeopardizing other gains in a battle against synthetic opioids, people on the front lines of the anti-narcotics fight say. Government drug researchers have been sacked. One of the nation's premier narcotics testing labs has furloughed chemists who test the potency of illicit drugs. A Pennsylvania outreach center that distributed thousands of doses of life-saving overdose reversal medication has closed its door. An Illinois nonprofit that works to reduce overdose deaths in communities of color is slated to lose grants, worth 60% of its budget. The Office of Federal Workers, who conduct the nation's only annual survey on drug use, has been gutted. If I could just back up to that one in Illinois, Trump doesn't give a shit if people in communities of color overdose. That's of zero importance to him. Quote, we're finally seeing smart investments bear fruit, and then suddenly eliminating that work is going to have very sinister consequences for progress on overdose prevention, said Leo Bluesky, professor of law at Health Sciences at Northeastern University in Boston. The damage is spreading fast. Robert Ashford, executive director of Unity Recovery, which runs drug outreach programs in Texas and Pennsylvania, got word last week that his Pennsylvania operation was due to lose $1.2 million, nearly 20% of its budget, almost immediately. The money was part of federal grants funneled through Pennsylvania and other states that have been targeted for elimination by the Trump administration. Unit Recovery quickly shuttered its Philadelphia location, cut hours at its Pittsburgh office in half, and laid off 23 workers who offered healthcare, food, counseling, and drug addiction services to about 8,000 people a month. He's literally slashing the services that are needed in order to help prevent the things that he says he wants to prevent. He's his own worst enemy.